Well, let's switch from that to what is the deep dive of this episode for sure. Matthew Flynn would like to know. Can you ask her what it was like filming Night of the Demons Part 2? I'm a huge fan, and that movie has a huge horror cult following. People go to horror conventions now to celebrate it. Nobody has ever asked her about it in an interview. I don't know if this is verified or not, but I would love to know,
Oh my
as I know
gosh.
she loves horror movies herself. Is this
I
something that comes up ever for you?
Nobody talks to me about Night of the Demons 2, and I love talking about it because I really truly am a horror movie fanatic. Like
Mm.
from my early middle school years, that was the era of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The original Halloween is like my all-time favorite film. I love the original Friday the 13th, 1, 2, and 4. I really love my horror movies, and I'm very picky about them. Now, would I say Night of the Demons 2 is my favorite horror movie? No, but I loved doing it. It really, like, the story behind that film was that film, even maybe we just call it a movie and not a film.
A flick.
Flick, horror flick. But it was, I had honestly, like, it was in, I think it might have been 1993 or 4, but I had just gotten carjacked in LA, like at gunpoint. And it was very traumatic. Like, it was a very surreal experience. Broad daylight, pulled my car up. I was with my roommate. We got out of the car and, like, we were crossing the street to go to our apartment. My roommate David and I, and this car slowed down, and I thought they were going to just ask directions. Like, it felt like just like a normal day. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon on a Monday.
Thanks.
And the guy got out with a gun and just said, "Give me the keys." And they came up in a car, and the other car took off. And very long story short, my car was never seen again. It was a traumatizing experience. And I got Night of the Demons 2, like, right. I might have even been auditioning for it during that period of time and got the job. So I got to sort of, like, it was so therapeutic to be able to just go to a set with a bunch of kids. Like, we were all the same age. We were all like in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And just run around and scream. It was all night shoots. So we just, it was just this fun group of actors that we just had a blast doing that movie. In this old house. It was really, like, down in like, I think Vermont and Adams in Los Angeles, like this sort of big house. We didn't shoot on a soundstage. It was in a real old rundown house. It was so much fun to do. And the big thing for me with that movie too was that they really wanted nudity, like, across the boards. They wanted, like, all the girls to be, like, taking tops off and things like that. And that was really my hard line. I was like, I'm just, my grandmother will watch this movie. I can't do it. I can't. My Catholic parents, nope, I can't do it. So I said no to it a couple of times when they finally came back, and they said, "Okay, would you do the scene, like, where you're in, like, night, like a bra or a nightgown or something?" And I was like, "Sure, that's fine." That's fine. But so that was my Night of the Demons 2 story, and I love that there are fans out there.
Absolutely. And I have to ask you, and you can answer this with all the bias you can muster. I know that you're being very modest about where this movie ranks in the horror scheme of things.
Yeah.
Would you say Night of the Demons Part 2 is the best in the Night of the Demons franchise? Can we at least say that?
How deep does it go? Because I think I stopped at 2. I only watched the original. I don't know how and listen, if I'm, and I am biased, but I will say, if it's just the 2 of them, but I do think there might have been another one after that. But if it's between the original and our sequel, I'm going to go with the sequel. Because I remember watching the original and feeling like,
we can do better.
I love this movie, but I don't care, because this sounds like so much fun to do.
Absolutely. And look, I'm sure guys tweet us, DM us, whatever you need to do. Let us know what we do not know about this
The
franchise. I'm
franchise,
sure we'll
please.
be
Yes. Yeah. Because come on, this is 90s to now. We need to know about this franchise. It was a 90s franchise.